friend in need is a pest.
Why did the weasel go pop, pop goes the weasel? Why did the weasel go pop? Because they upped the price of tuppenny rice to 4p. How did the pop get into the weasel? Weasel, pop goes the weasel. How did the pop get in there? Well, the weasel caught his beagle in the tree.
I'm standing with a masked guy, one masked guy, and two masked and a mannequin. And I'm on my lunch hour. So what in the hell am I getting into? So he said, 6 o'clock, be at Holiday Inn on Highway 31. We're going to Louisville that night. In those days, you met someplace. Everybody would jump in a car and ride together, and they paid 2 cents a mile transportation to the guy that drove. So I get there at 6 o'clock. I went home and told my mother how excited I was. And I packed a bag, and I didn't know what to bring even. So I put the shower shoes in it. I had a soap dish. I had a towel. I had a shirt. I didn't know what to have. So as we're driving I met Dick the Bruiser and Wilbur Snyder at the Holiday Inn. And Guy Mitchell and I got in the car. And we're driving to Louisville. And Bruiser in the front, him and Snyder are talking, and they're talking in this language I didn't understand, which was Carney. But I didn't know about it, and they're talking about this and that. And I don't know. I'm in a car with these guys. I'm counting cows. I'm 20 years old now. I'm driving to Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know for what. Don't know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to manage them, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. But I've been around and seen what managers do, but I didn't know what they wanted me to do. So as we get there, the way they broke me in is Bruiser took this mask and he threw it to me in the back seat. He said, put this on. He says, we don't hurt each other. He said, we make it look like we do. And if you tell anybody what's going on, I'll break both your legs and your arms and your back, and when you get better, Wilbur will break them. I said, okay, fine. So I get in the dressing room, I got the mask on. All these guys are coming by, I'm introducing myself. I know all, they don't know who I am, because they used to see me carrying jackets a week ago. Now I'm in the dressing room sitting there naked with them with a mask on. So, we went to the ring, had a match with Moose Cholak and Wilbur Snyder. Moose was a big man, about 350 pounds, wore a lumberjack shirt, Levi's, engineer boots, sleeves cut out of the shirt, about 350, 375, about 6'5". And he was the most dangerous human being. He would hurt you during instructions. He would just move his hand and slap you in the mouth, just clumsy. And when he first started, Vince McMahon Sr. gave him this moose idea. Well, he had a moose head made, a huge moose head named Alexander. And inside the moose head was a football helmet and like wooden horses for shoulders to support the thing on, with antlers. So I guess the first time Moose got into the ring in Baltimore, Maryland with it, he stepped over the top rope. He weighs a couple 100 pounds now. It's a moose. And he stands in the middle of the ring and he folds his arms across his chest. And he looks at his opponent. And as he does that, he loses his balance. and you know how you start to go back and you'll wave your arms to grab yourself instead of just putting your foot back. Here's this 370-pound man standing with a moose on his head, slowly going over backwards. And he's yelling on the way down, oh! And he goes all the way down, just boom, broke the antlers. Well, he quit wearing that moose head for a while. But he wore it every now and then for like holidays and stuff. But this night he didn't have the moose on. So, Bruiser tells me to jump up on the apron. We're all four in the ring, and they'll bring you into the ring, and Moose will take the mask off you. So, okay. So I jump up on the ring. I know what wrestlers are making. I'm thinking in my mind, I could be making $10,000 tonight. Gotta be. Moose brings me into the ring, and he grabs the top of the mask and rips it off. Well, no one ever taught me how to wear a mask, and I had it tied in about 9 knots. Now here I am at 20 years of age. I'm about 150 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall. And Moose has me by one arm and a mask hanging me. And I don't know how to get the mask off. So he finally reached in and just broke the strings and then unmasked me. My God. Well, I didn't realize you don't have to tie it. You just put the strings up in there. I jump out of the ring. Some woman comes up to me, this hillbilly woman from Louisville, Kentucky. By the way, that's where the toothbrush was invented, in Kentucky. Any place else it had been called the teeth brush. This woman comes up to me and puts a cigar out on my neck. The cops get her. I get back to the dressing room. Now I've almost strangled myself. I've got a burn on my neck. The next match was Johnny Valentine against the Bruiser. Valentine had gotten into a fight with the cops or something on the way back and punched one of the police, punched another fan, went in the dressing room and shut the door and put a chair in front of it. Now the cops are beating on the door and trying to get in. Joe Tommaso, who was one of the men I managed, was there and who knew Valentine. I said, what's the matter? And Johnny turned around and punched him, knocked him down. Well, I figured Johnny just punched the guy he knows. What's he going to do to me? So I go underneath the table. Now the promoter's name was Wee Willie Davis. He was like 6'10". He was in the movie Mighty Joe Young, different stuff. He was about 400 pounds. And Willie grabbed one of the nightsticks from the cop. He said, give me this nightstick. And he walked in the dressing room. He just started whacking Valentine over the head. And you could just hear his melon cracking. And finally Johnny just went down. Bang, they handcuffed him. They took him out of there. I'm under the table, naked, with a towel. I get up, I get dressed, I get back in the car. We're driving across this bridge from Louisville back into Indiana, and there's a truck wreck. And there's a man outside the truck laying on the highway on fire. And you can hear him as we pull up. Maybe half a mile away. Oh God, God help me, he's screaming. So as traffic moves around, he was in the other lane, going the opposite direction. We could go by and see this horrible tragedy. We get home about 2 o'clock in the morning. Bruiser hands me $5 for the night. Now I'm thinking to myself, I've got to get up now at 7 in the morning to go to work. I've just been to Louisville, Kentucky, and managed some people I don't really manage. I was almost hung. I was almost beat to death by a man with a nightstick. I was almost beaten up by Johnny Valentine. I saw this horrendous accident where a man was alive and on fire for $5. And all I could think of is, this is for me. When can I go do this again? And that's how I started. That was my first day in the business. I told her, I said, you beat Nick one more time, you get to keep him.